Ladies and gentlemen, Gets and Grots, welcome back to some more Dawn of War 2 Elite Mod action. Red-Rupee here calling the shots for you tonight as always, and let's take a look at our players of tonight's match. On the blue side, we've got the Orc over here, the Orc War Boss Fathom. His opponent, Blessed Spartan, the Space Marine Force Commander versus War Boss. That's a pretty iconic Dawn of War 2 showdown. I know, I'm just in time. I'm sure you guys were thinking, man, is Rupee only going to upload Dawn of War 2 videos from his stream? No, I still plan on doing a couple pre-recorded casts curated for your viewing pleasure every week. So stick around. We will still be doing the pre-recorded stuff. That said, if you do like live streams, if you like hanging out, watching matches, interacting with chat live, all that kind of fun stuff that comes along with said live streaming, you can always check me out at twitch.tv/Red-Rupee. But that's then, and this is now. So we've got Shooter Boys out for Fathom and getting the fast node, not going for a second Shooter Boy right out of the gate. Blessed Spartan also doing the same? Okay. So just a two-squad start for both of these guys. Force Commander running the top side of the map here, while the Scouts actually not even capping, just looking through middle. I don't know if that... Oh, no, that was a misclick. Alright, he just misclicked. He didn't miss... He didn't hit the actual victory point. Now he's capping. If that were me, these Scouts would have just waited here for a long time, and I never would have paid attention until it was too late. So, normally we see double shooters, or at least an extra slugger, and same thing with the Space Marines, when normally we see a second Scout, so maybe some fast Tier 1.5 tech. We've got two gens coming down for the Orc. Still nothing extra for the Blessed Spartan. Oh, he's going for a Devastator. If you're going to go for a Devastator first, I'd expect you drop a Generator. I'm not sure what he's planning on for that extra acquisition. I guess we'll see here shortly. We do have some Luda Boys coming out for Fathom as the first purchase as well. Scouts continuing to do a good job. They're just doing their thing. Map controlling, decapping points. No victory point pressure yet at all from Blessed Spartan. He's kind of been... he kind of was looking around for orcs. He was looking for a fight. He's still looking for a fight. Force Commander... pressing forward before capturing those victory points. He kind of moved around to the far side of the map, didn't see any orcs, then moved back to potentially protect his power generators, but then still didn't see anything. Yeah, I think this is just a little slip up from Blessed Spartan, because he built the Devastator, and then he didn't get anything else. He dropped generators, so he probably could have just dropped those generators a little bit sooner, and been a little further ahead on tech at this stage in the game. But not a big deal, hopefully, as we go into the kind of tier 1.5 zone. Alright, so our first shots are out. Looks like first blood is going to be for the Tactical Marines, picking off an Orc Boy there. Poor little Slugger falls over. And Ludas versus Devastators. Oh my gosh, the Devastator took out 2 of the 3 Ludas at point-blank range. Sluggers over here upgraded with their Slugger knob, and now the big shooters as well, so lots of power going into both the Luda Boys and the Shooter Boys. Ludas and shooters right out of the gate. Blessed Spartan moving forward still with only these 3 squads. Honestly, a pretty odd, I'm not even going to say light, it's just kind of odd to go straight for the Devastator. No upgrades on the Scouts. He's keeping the map control up. Blessed Spartan's a great Space Marine player, so who am I to argue? He's got some good map control. 2 gens down. Putting a little pressure on the Orcs over here with some tax as well. I'd kind of expect to see advanced targeters on this Devastator. It's almost an obvious grab, especially since he seems to be floating some requisition. We'll see what he's saving up for. I don't know if he's going to get more assaults, go right into tier 2 now that he has... his 3 generators down. Oh, he does have flamers on the tax over here, but they're moving up awfully close. Just in time for that Luda Boy to shut him down. Oh my gosh, he needs to retreat right now. The Ludas do such crazy damage. Their burst is really high. They have a short... They do about the same amount of damage as a Devastator, but in a shorter amount of time. Their burst fire is about half the speed of a burst from a Devastator. So, oh my gosh, Storm Boy's out here too now for Fathom. Jumping on in there. And, oh, even getting a knockdown. Fortunately, those front 2 models didn't get knocked down. Oh my gosh, is this going down? That'd be a huge loss this early for Blessed Spartan, but it does look like it's going to escape. Maybe I spoke too soon! Oh dear, no, all the Storm Boys. They're sometimes so very bad at killing on retreat. They're gonna fall back themselves. They don't want to overextend here. Oh, they might... Nah, they wouldn't have got no Force Commander. Force Commander upgraded with the Power Sword now. The Power Melee. And enhanced battle cry for him. Warboss just capping around, being a kind of solo guy, lone wolf over there, Warboss. With the Power Sword, I normally see the Power Sword in Space Marine or Chaos line matchups with the Force Commander, because getting that power melee is so good against that power armor. Scouts hiding out in the building over here. Gotta be careful. Oh, yep, there come the burners. The burners are coming. And, oh, that was... I feel like that might have been a premature retreat from Fathom. There were Space Marines over here, but honestly, I feel like Fathom's probably expecting something a little more from the Space Marine Tier 1. Blessed Spartan could certainly have Assault Space Marines coming out. Oh my gosh, these scouts in such a harrowing position. Are they going to escape? Another daring escape from Blessed Spartan. Space Marine full of daring do today. And let's see. The requisition is like kind of capped. I guess it's pretty much a split map, just in kind of a weird way. A lot of the requisition over on Blessed Spartan's side is blue, and vice versa for Fathom. But Blessed Spartan floating some serious requisition here, almost to 800 now. I don't know what he's saving up for. Maybe he's hoping to drop some tax in as he goes into Tier 2, but he doesn't have nearly enough red, especially if you're just going to use For the Emperor right here. But For the Emperor against use your choppers is not the way this is going to go down. Yeah, For the Emperor is kind of a waste there. So maybe he should have saved that zeal for calling in some Space Marines. I'm not sure. We're going to have to see where this goes. Alright, so both players heading into Tier 2. Storm Boys and Warboss just kind of bullying around in front of the Space Marine base, and now this is kind of where Blessed Spartan gets in trouble. He's got a very small force. He's finally upgrading his scouts here now that he's gotten into Tier 2. He's got shotguns and a Sarge coming out. But against both the Ludas, I mean, there are Storm Boys and there are Sluggas, but against the Ludas and Shootas, that scout upgrade isn't going to do too much. So all the Space Marines are just healing up. Force Commander coming out here on his lonesome. But that's going to be plenty to deal with these Luda boys. Not to stop them from getting the cap, but plenty to force them off of the map for the time being. Shootas still blasting away at power. They got one generator. They got a node. Getting a level off of that as well. Some easy free experience for that squad. Slugger boys now moving in on the flank as well. A second Luda squad coming out of Fathom in Tier 2. I would have expected a truck or something like that. But, oh man, speaking of sticks, there we go! 2 Storm Boys go down. They're probably going to want to get out of there. Shooter Boys have to retreat as well. The distraction on the Storm Boys allowed that Devastator to get up in point-blank range, and now everything's falling back for the Orcs. Blessed Spartan getting a Librarian out here. And now suddenly looking like he's not... I guess he wasn't floating that much. He went Tier 2, he got a Librarian. He's still sitting on about 350 requisition. So I guess he's going to be able to rebuild this power. But that was a very light Tier 1, all things considered. He didn't spend a lot of power. He got the Power Sword and he got the Devastator. And that's about it. He got the Flamers, but they didn't really do too much, honestly. Trying to escape that suppression, trying to creep away. And there he goes. Force Commander's free, but the Devastator letting the Warboss get in. Oh my gosh, he was just barely on the edge of that firing arc for the Devastator, but he does escape. Scouts, oh, there we go. Scouts doing the classic. Sometimes I swear sometimes I click on the victory points. Maybe I like click next to them, like right here, and it's still like highlights, but it doesn't actually click. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. But sometimes I feel like that happens to me too. I swear I'll tell a unit to cap, and it's just, I check back, and they're just standing next to it. I'm like, why isn't that point capped yet? Because they're not capping, damn it! Oh, it's the worst. Okay, Artificer's Armor coming in for the Warboss. The boss man. I lied, that's not the Warboss at all, that's the Force Commander. He's still the boss man. He's definitely the boss man, but he's not the Warboss. He's just the Space Marine boss man. Okay, so these guys look pretty sweet with their double power swords over here. The Librarian and Force Commander coming in. Veil of Time put down on the Devastator. The Tax have to get the heck out because they're about to get mowed down by those storms and slugs. Force Commander's over here now. A nice looking smite getting some damage in. And a beautiful knockback from both the the Force Commander and the Librarian. I almost by default said Tech Marine. Shows you what I play all the time. Okay, so the Force Commander didn't get out of there. That's a big loss for Spartan, but that said, he's got so much requisition that it's not really a big deal. He's not been bleeding too much. He's kept that pretty well under control. That said, Fathom's doing a good job here too. As bleedy as the Orc can be, he's kept it relatively under control to the point that he actually has this extra half a gen farm over here. So he's going to be, if I were to guess, probably trying to get into tier 2, or tier 3 rather, because I haven't seen him opt for anything else in tier 2 so far. It does look like he's going to lose this secondary power farm, or at least the half of a farm that it is. Not fully developed, but still some nice extra income there, and Spartan going for a Dreadnought. So, honestly, that's great, considering that there's Storm Boys and Sluggas out here. Along with the War Boss, man, Storm Boys and Sluggas are a force to be reckoned with, especially as Space Marine, where you start dealing with that power and heavy melee, and it just... Your power armor becomes a detriment more than any sort of assistance, because the only thing you're actually slowing down right now is Shuda and Luda damage, because that's really the only piercing you're resisting. Everything else, all that power and heavy melee, it's just getting in all that bonus damage. All right, Luda's get some shots down on the Tactical Marines, deny the cap here, and despite being well into this game, we're pretty much even up so far. Things are looking good for both players. It could still go either way. The victory points are like neck and neck. The Dreadnought's out, which is going to be a big turn, I feel like. At least one of these Luda boys is going to have to go for a beamy def gun. But I like keeping one with a suppression weapon, the standard Luda, because that stealth suppression can often lead to either denial on capping or surprise swings and engagements. So here we go. Fathom's going tier 3. And the Space Marines are reacting to this Gen Bash. Storm Boy's looking for a jump. Oh, they just barely tagged that rear model of the Devastator squad. Shotgun support comes in. The explosive shell knocks back those Storm Boys, potentially saving the Dev, along with the Force Commander and his battle cry doing the same, just knocking Storm Boys every which way. In comes some range support from the Librarian, who's not going to get into the melee scuffle here, but maybe pick off a Storm Boy or two on retreat. Oh no, he's going in for the War Boss. Never mind, he's staying at range. He's playing it safe. That's not like my Librarian. My Librarian goes right into the thick of it, gets taken down. It's my Librarians have a very short half-life. Okay, so the Dreadnought gen bashing, I don't know. I feel like I would much rather have had the Dreadnought in that last engagement. That would have been like such a decisive win instead of losing some Devastator models, some Tactical Marines. The Dreadnought got on the field, walked all the way around the map, and killed a generator. That's all it's done so far for that huge tier 2 investment. I'm not sure I agree with that, but it all depends. Oh my gosh, that War Boss with the claw does so much damage. Oh man, he's fully kitted out. We didn't even check that goodness out. War Boss with the cyborg implants, the trophy rack. He's got that reduced incoming damage from, I mean, it's a reduced damage R. It's not even incoming damage. Just anything near him does 25% less damage. Not to mention the big stomp and extra health, that claw that does, I don't remember how much it does per swing. It's got 95 melee, heavy melee DPS, but DPS is kind of it can be a deceptive number in this game, depending on like attack speed, like the wind up and cooldown of an attack as well. There's a lot to be considering, and these like big slow weapons, like this thing attacks maybe once every second and a half, so it probably does close to like 150 a pop if I were to guess. Let's see, Shooter Boys or Slugga Boys over here. Just burning down generators, having a grand old time, indulging their pyro tendencies. So Fathom's tier 3. He hasn't bought anything yet, so I've got to assume that he's holding out for Nobs. He could have gotten a looted tank by this point if he wanted it. Veil of Time getting those Devastators into the thick of it nice and quickly. Still no advanced targeting. Man, if he had advanced targeting right now, you activate those Vengeance rounds, blast down these generators in the blink of an eye. Okay, so here come the Nobs. And now, I haven't seen Blessed Spartan on in a while. Maybe he's not sure Maybe he's just forgotten. Because you couldn't buy advanced targeters now and then still upgrade to the las cannon, so you're not locked into it by any stretch. But for taking down like the war boss, the Nobs, all those big huge health pools, it's awesome to get the suppression down, then open up with the vengeance rounds, especially with Veil of Time where you can kite away. Storm Boys come in. They nail it, actually. I thought they were going to... They led the target very nicely here. I don't think these devs are getting out of there. He hits the retreat button while he's in the thick of the melee. This time, there's no escape. Bomber Boys go down on the scouts. The Space Marines have no choice but to fall back. These orcs are here to rip and tear. And already claiming one squad, sending the scouts and tax packing with a few less brothers as well. A second, oh no, not a second Devastator, but the Devastator getting repurchased. Against this kind of melee, you really want some kind of suppression to act as a threat. We've got an assault cannon on the Dreadnought now as well, after identifying the Nob threat. So suppression, scout shotguns, force commander knockback. Really, the best way you can deal with Nobs is knockback, because they have their meaner and greener. You have to have at least a couple sources of knockback if you want to keep them from engaging your enemy while they're nigh on immune to damage. I don't believe they're quite entirely immune anymore in Elite Mod. I think they still take some damage. But I might be wrong on that. I have to double check the codex. I'm a little out of touch with some of the changes in Elite. Man, I love this Storm Boy. This Storm Boy with like a full-on airplane on his back. Oh my god. It's so good. Okay, Storm's coming in. Storm's backing up. Storm's jumping forward. I don't think that's where they want to be, though. Right in the thick of the Space Marine Army. That was a brazen jump from Fathom. Fathom maybe expecting a little too much from his boys on that one, but for his efforts, he gets rewarded with a Scout Squad kill. So a little distraction on the Space Marines. Oh, was that a full retreat? That had to have been a misclick. I think he probably tried to retreat the Scouts. And he probably just, by the time he hit the retreat button, there wasn't actually anything to select, so he just ended up retreating his whole army instead. So 232 to 302. Still anyone's game. Blessed Spartan, especially now anyone's game with Blessed Spartan going into tier 3. And this one's gonna, we're in for the long haul here, guys. This one's going the distance. Oh man, so he actually upgraded both of the Ludas to beamy def guns. He's really worried about that Dreadnought being a pain. So the assault cannon comes in, the sluggers fall back. Fathom's been doing a little poking here with his melee squads, but he's been forced to pull them back both times here. I'm surprised. Okay, here he goes. I was about to say, I'm surprised he's not going for that victory point. Being about 100 down now. 100 down isn't insurmountable at this stage in the game, but as it comes to a close, obviously, if things stay relatively even, right, eventually 100 down is the game. So a nice looking assault cannon barrage. Meaner and greener gets activated, but yeah, see, here's what I'm talking about. So long as you have enough sources of knockbacks, he had the assault cannon barrage, he had the shotguns, now the Nobs are suppressed and can't go anywhere. They're forced to retreat. Dreadnought taking a lot of beamy def gun fire, though. Storm Boys jumping in, getting on the scouts, getting on that Devastator once again. Is the Devastator going to go down again? That Storm Boy Nob does so much damage, they need to get out of there. Bomber Boy hits, but doesn't quite finish off the model. That Librarian needs to be careful. He's getting knocked all over the place by that claw. It looks like the War Boss will cease the chase. Not pursuing the Librarian at this point, wants to get on the tactical boys. Meanwhile, the Force Commander's way over here with the Teleporter pack as well now. Running some interference on the other side of the engagement, managed to force off one of those Luda boys. And now the Dreadnought getting fixed up here. Scouts got their vocational skills at their local engineering school, so they know how to fix a Dreadnought. The Tech Priests giving them permission to do so. And, oh, a Weirdo coming out. Okay. Sticking with the Nobs for Tier 3 tech, now choosing to bring out a Weirdo, reinforcing these Storm Boys that look like they were down to just their Nob. That's not inexpensive. Fathom hurting for requisition at this point, as tends to be the case with Orcs if you get too far into the late game and start bleeding a lot of models. Librarian not going to get the cap over there. No, sir, say the Shooter Boys. I doubt they'd say no, sir. They'd probably say, no, you grot, or something like that. They're not really, Orcs not really the sir and gentleman kind of folks, I don't think. Alright, and here we got the big brains of the operation, the weird boy. Brains so big they don't fit in his head. They busted right out of there. Okay, set 176 to 275. The Orcs still not able to lock down this center VP, even losing one of their requisition points on the back line there. That's probably part of why Fathom's having a hard time. He has not been able to keep his wreck in too great a control. He does have the Space Marine wreck, so that's something. But and when it gets to this stage in the game, the Orcs are just naturally going to bleed a little more than the Space Marines. Space Marines have all those tough models to kill. Weird Boy leading the charge. Not really what I'd expect. I figure he's going to toss some knobs somewhere. But, oh my gosh, Assault Terminators get called in, and now it's a real fight. Knobs versus Assault Terminators, Storm Boys versus Devastators, the Dreadnought versus the Beamy Def Guns. Everything is in danger for everyone. Weirdo trying to lock some stuff down, but the friendly fire's not going great here. Will the Ludas go down to Scout Melee? Unfortunately not. The Dreadnought does, however, die to the Storm Boys. Warboss trying his darndest against these Assault Terminators. And, oh my gosh, the Weird Boy's actually in a lot of trouble too. Veil of Time comes down. Is it enough? Oh my gosh, it is! That last swing of the Power Sword's enough. He's out of control. He's losing his mind. And now he's just gonna go pop. Weirdo's down. Too much psych for that big old brain. It got out of control. And now Assault Terminators moving forward, stomping up. They are a bit injured, but they are so beefy that it probably doesn't really matter too much. Fathom, I guess, at this point, I think we need to see a Ruby tank, something like that. We'll see what he goes for. Oh my gosh, these scouts, the scouts freshly bought and upgraded, not going down, but getting dangerously close against those shooter boys. Looking for some more gen bashing over here. Fathom and Blessed Spartan both approaching the time in their economies for some more tier 3 tech. Blessed Spartan a little ways off from anything like a tank at this stage, but the Assault Terminators are no joke, especially along with the Force Commander. I'm surprised we haven't seen the Thunder Hammer on the Force Commander with all this Orky melee. You know, with Storm Boys, Sluggers, and now Nobs on top of it, that Thunder Hammer can really shut down melee DPS. We'll see if he switches the... I mean, the sword's not bad. Don't get me wrong, the sword is... Oh, never mind. He's doing it right now. He's got the... He got the thunder. He heard me talking. He's like, you know what, Rupee, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and get that Thunder Hammer. Classic Force Commander walking around with a big old sparky hammer. I bet the Orcs are really jealous of that hammer, man. Alright. His hammer may be sparky, but their hammers are huge! Alright, Looted Tank is here. Looted Tank, Nobs, Storms, Slugs, Warboss. Let's go. It's time to push into the Space Marine forces. Let's see. This is probably Fathom's last push here. He's got a sizable army. He should be able to take at least one solid engagement here, but he's down to 87 points, which means he has, you know, about 2 minutes before the game ends if he doesn't get these victory points in his grasp here. He's got Slugger Boys watching the far side over there, but the I guess just guarding from the scouts, but the scouts are on the back line, decapping requisition. And here we go, the big battle in the mid. The battle for the victory point. The VPs have gone neutral. Storm Boys jump in, try to take the devs out of the equation right away. The Looted Tank reveals itself to the Space Marine army. It looks like the decap will come from the Warboss. Warboss probably wants to get in here now. Hard Boys going down on the Storm to try to keep them up a little bit, but the Thunder Hammer still makes them no match for the melee scuffle here. It's a big old brouhaha in the middle between Assault Terminators, Nobs, the Force Commander, the Warboss. Everyone's swinging away. It's a melee brawl. It's I don't know, these Assault Terminators are in a lot of trouble. They teleport out of there. The Devastator gets back up thanks to the Librarian. Nice use of the Librarian. He does have the Psychic Hood. That's how the devs got back up here so quickly. It retreated, he teleported it forward, then gave it some Veil of Time. Oh no! The Devastator switched to the last cannon at the worst possible moment. The Warboss is in his face. Oh, the worst timing ever. Alright, he's got to be careful with this Librarian. There's a Warboss in his retreat path, potentially. Force Commander getting up here. Warboss now not going to be able to get the Librarian this time around. Librarian is going to survive. A little bit more fortunate than the Weird Boy Sub-Commander for the Orcs. Force Commander just tanking tank shells to the face. He doesn't care. He teleports out. He's not worried about it. Falls back. It's a 2-0 cap suddenly. 184 to 75. Can Fathom hold on? The big boom shot coming down. Oh my gosh, the scout's falling back. Don't call it a comeback. Fathom's got a very secure map position suddenly. The Assault Terminator is unable to hold against the looted tank. Blessed Spartan has built his army kind of to deal with melee threats, so suddenly this looted tank coming onto the field throws a big wrench in everything. He doesn't really have anything to hunt that down. He tried to get the Lazdev, but it's proven largely ineffectual between Storm Boys and a Warboss, the Nobs obviously. We can list Orc melee squads all day in this game because they're all here. They're all ready to roll. And they're not going to let that las cannon stay entrenched. Alright, so here we go. See, this is what I was expecting. The Slugger Boys just slowing out, just guarding the far side over here. And there is a Predator coming out for the Space Marines. But with a 2-0 cap, is it going to come out in time? When you're down to 100 victory points or less, oh no, the Librarian, you need to get out of there right now. He turns to engage. He's distracted by the scouts on the far side there. Slug is on the flank. The Orcs are just overwhelming. They jump in. The Librarian's in dire trouble. He goes down to the knob. The Assault Terminators are trying to do anything they can to save the Space Marine forces, but the Orcs are just ignoring them. They took out the Librarian. They took out the Tactical Marines. It looks like the Assault Terminators aren't far behind the las cannon setting up, but what's it going to do against all this? Some nice looking special attacks coming in from the Force Commander, but even with that Thunder Hammer and even with the Predator, the Orcs, wow, is just unceasing. We even saw a dead Storm Boy still doing their assault jump there. 34 to 75, a 2-0 cap for these past couple minutes. And it's a sudden and decisive turnaround for Fathom. The Orcs come out here in full force. They've got tons of red. They got a second looted tank. They could even drop another rocks if they wanted. GG. Blessed Spartan drops the GG. Force Commander goes down. Oh man, and just to add insult to injury, there goes the Dev as well. He took a big old bite out of him, tossed him over his shoulder, and now he's going to just go up and high-five that Predator. Let him know good game. It's all in good fun. GG from Fathom and Blessed Spartan. Wow, what a comeback from Fathom. That was awesome. Very cool there. The orcs were beaten and bruised by the time they retreated from that, but man, they just mowed down. And that's the thing. So Fathom had so much red there that even during that push, if he wanted to, he could have just called the boys, reinforced all those orcs, and just kept it up. He probably could have just rolled into the Space Marine base. He could have dropped to rocks at the end of the game there. I mean, it's so hard when it's that hectic, right? When it's down to like 75 points. You're just doing whatever you can to win, but man, Fathom had some more options under his belt that he could have used if it came down to it. What a push, what an endgame push, man. Rolled over a tier 3 Space Marine army. That's no small feat. Oh, anyways. That's our game for tonight. I hope you guys had some fun. Oh man, there's a Terminator stuck in the treads of that tank there. That's why it's not going anywhere. Someone get the mech boy out here. It's gonna take a while to clean that up. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Follow me on the social media. Stop by the Twitch stream. This has been Red-Rupee. I'll catch you guys next time.